What up? Let me put y'all on something about detachment. You ever heard of detachment? Like being nonchalant all the time is the key to life? Like being completely emotionless is the way to go? You might have heard the word stoic improperly used in that phrase too. Well, that's a pile of horse shit. And that pile of horse shit is made out of avoidance and numbness. And let's be real here, you ain't gonna keep yourself like that for life. So reframe your mind like a human being instead of a robot in the flesh. Detachment is the idea of not giving a flying fuck about what will happen to you, but intending to have the best outcome. You can be open to new things, but don't get yourself so focused and stuck on the outcome. As much as you want to protect your peace, you gotta understand that the result of whatever you can do in life can go chaotic in different ways. So you can't let your peace be affected by outcomes in life. You can let yourself be affected by people positively, but when someone thinks poorly of you, you can brush that shit off to the side. The worth that you have as a human being is not set in stone by the people that give you shit with their crappy judgment, criticisms, and whatever fuck-ass expectations they have of you. To really understand what I'm saying here, sometimes you gotta take a step back, physically or mentally, sometimes both, depending on what the situation calls for, to see the bigger picture. That's a skill you need for clarity, the lesson that helps you finesse your way into freedom. Think about this. We want love, affection, relationships, intimacy, companionship, whatever. But plenty of us won't do that. Why? Because we see it as some kind of risk. Let's be real here. Every person that you encounter could possibly be great, or they could be human garbage. But you, a lot of the times, are afraid of being affected because that means you gotta open up your genuine self to somebody that could hurt you, leave, or straight up disappoint you one way or another. Being affected is not weak, bro. It's just a part of human connection. That just means that you are human like everyone else. You have the ability to feel and connect about as well as most other people. So, do you let yourself get affected by other people, or do you let yourself be defined by the outcomes of how people affect you? Buddy, do you collapse and fall apart when someone criticizes you for something? Hell nah, you're still intact in one piece. When someone exits your life, does it feel like the universe is in an apocalypse? Get real, because that doesn't happen either. Don't cling to outcomes. That's attachment. Clinging to shit is just fear faking itself as care. Don't live in fear. That's no way to live. Let me put you on this. Staying open genuinely means that you let people matter in your life without that emotionally fucking with you. You can feel, respond, and engage, but your identity and sense of self as an individual goes unfazed. Once again, it's perfectly fine to not care about what the fuck ass shit people gotta say about you. Whatever irrelevant thing they gotta say is their perspective, not yours. Sometimes you gotta take a step back just to see how small and irrelevant some judgments really are. That is the key. That's what's liberating. In a world where anything can happen, you gotta understand and get it through your head that outcomes are uncertain. Clinging more often than not starts with uncertainty. Your brain hates when it doesn't know shit. It thinks that unpredictability is the enemy. You keep telling yourself, man, if I can't control this thing, I might lose it, I'll fuck things up, and I'll just feel like shit. And then giving away too much of a fuck turns into clinging. Wanting turns into firmly grasping, like holding a jellyfish net on a wheelchair. Desire feels like it has to be a necessity. This may come off as a mindfuck to you, but uncertainty ain't the enemy. It's a metric of how alive you are. Letting shit play out without certainty isn't giving up. It's courageous. It's going in and saying fuck it, we ball in your head. It's claiming the true idea that I can be my genuine 100% self, giving, loving, behaving how I do, and if things don't go the way I hope they do, I'll be fine. I'll survive. I got this. On some real shit. Attachment doesn't feel terrible because you put care in. It hurts because you let outcomes dictate your happiness, worth, and safety. Detachment that comes from fear, like say fear of loss or being hurt, That just traps you from life. But at the same time, openness without clinging to shit is liberating because your peace isn't a hostage to whatever comes next. You have to accept that you have to let yourself hope, desire, and risk being hurt. Fuck it, we ball, and keep yourself grounded. No guarantees, just living life straight ballin'. There's a fat difference between detachment and being some nonchalant, nothing affects me type of smartass with emotional minimalism. Some people think of themselves as detached, but really they act like they don't feel jack fucking shit. Hell, they even stopped taking risks and stopped caring. That's not detachment, that's a shield. Real detachment doesn't hide authenticity, it expands upon it. You remain fully human, alive, open, without letting outcomes define your value. Don't shield yourself from shit. How about you be the shit? Staying open without clinging is less about other people, and it's more about you. It's about believing in yourself to make it through disappointment, loss, pain, yet remaining whole. Because if you don't trust yourself, you'll trust the thing you cling on to. You will cling to that thing, whatever it is, people, outcomes, ideas, and you end up hurting yourself just by having a crap ton of desire. So what do you trust yourself more? Yourself or loss? Are you able to let someone affect you deeply, making you laugh, hurting you, motivating you, inspiring you, disappointing you, without needing to control them, predict them, or secure them? If you are, then you understand detachment. If you can't, that's fine. Shit, most of us can't. Sometimes you gotta step back and see the bigger picture. Doing that reminds you what feels urgent in the moment may not be so important in the larger context of your life. The work is learning to welcome life with open arms, not clenched fists. There is a major contrast here. Real detachment comes from clarity that moves toward life. Fake detachment, the one that comes from fear, moves away from life. With clarity, you love, engage, try without clinging to outcomes. Fear gaslights you into numbing yourself, withdrawing, and stopping to care, to avoid life. Instead of stopping to care for life, stop giving a fuck about the outcome. Are you detaching for real and feeling freedom? Or are you just on that fake shit and closing off? Are you choosing authenticity and courage, or just chasing safety? You gotta be on the right side of the divider. Choose emotional wisdom instead of emotional avoidance. It's easy to fool yourself. I do it to myself more often than I should. But when you consciously call yourself out and start asking the real questions, you consciously detach. Live intentionally, freely, free ballin'. Staying open without clinging to shit is something you gotta master. Not mastery over circumstance, but yourself. It's choosing to want without it feeling like it's needing. Act without demanding. Love without possessing. Hope without expectation. On some real shit, you can let someone affect you. Let life move unpredictably and remain intact. You can grieve without losing yourself. You can celebrate good times without being overly stuck to them. You can do all of that while not giving a fuck about what ain't right for you, like opinions that don't serve you, without guilt or shame. Sometimes stepping back is necessary to see the broader perspective, to understand what truly matters versus what ain't shit. That balance between heart and awareness, between desire and freedom, is where peace lives. That balance is freedom. There is art to balance. Let this be the thing you take from what I had to say. Allow outcomes to be uncertain. Step into life fully without expecting guarantees. Be present. Care deeply. Risk heartbreak. Risk failure. Risk disappointment. Fuck it, we ball. But don't let the world define your value. You are not what people say you are. Do not let outcomes dictate your peace. Stay open. Stay vulnerable. Be genuine. Be a freaking human being and trust yourself to survive, grow, thrive, prosper, move forward, no matter what happens. Care deeply about people, but also remember to not care about the opinions of others if their opinions of you are just a steaming pile of crap. Especially of those who don't have a fucking clue what you are going through. They don't control your worth or freedom, and sometimes the clearest insight comes only when you take a step back and see the bigger picture. That's staying open without clinging. That's detachment done right. That's freedom most people never experience. And yet, it's available to anyone willing to risk being alive, straight ballin'. I upload regularly. Do what you want with that information. It's been Bean Burrito. Keep moving forward.